Whiskey and Wade going all the way.
What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey and Wade Show with me, your host, Tommy Mack.
And me, your better host, Terry McKenna.
And this episode is brought to you in association with the #1 competitions page in the whole wide world. That's Our Kings Competitions.
If you want houses, cars, holidays, cash prizes, anything you name it, it does it. So get on the competitions, ourkingscompetitions.com.
Also, we're supported by Dream Mentoring, Tom Smith's mentoring program that is designed to help anyone who's looking to level up in any aspect of life in your career. You know, it doesn't matter what line of work you're in, this mentoring program is for you. So make sure you check them out and get involved. And also Nando's, Naan, those.
Yep, not Nando's, the chicken place, but
Not
Nando's.
that Portuguese shit. This is Nando's
kebab.
kebabs.
This is when you're hungover, you need something to fill your belly and taste great. Get the Nando's.
The nicest kebab I've ever had in my life. Not even lying. So, with all that being said, today's special guest on the show is Belfast rapper, well known, up and coming. He's next in line, Durt Burd.
What's hot, and lads,
What's
thank you for
happening?
having me on. Like,
No
I
worries.
was saying there, it feels weird being here. Like, it's one of them places you only see it on the internet. Like, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, feel
But,
like I'm in the AI now. Like,
Now, where does the name Durt Burd come from?
well, it comes from a couple of different things. Like, so kind of comes from, like, not to get too political here, but it comes from British colonization in Ireland.
Hmm.
So you look at Ireland as the land of saints and scholars. You look at that, we have poets and writers like Oscar Wilde, Seamus Heaney, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But look at the names of our bars. Look at what we've been branded as. Dirty Nellies, Filthy McNasties. We're branded as like dirty people, drunks, thieves, whatever, do you know what I mean? So I suppose I'm a Durt, but I'm a poet as well, like, do you know what I mean? I'm a poet, I'm a scholar, like, I'm not stupid, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm good with my words. And
What part of Belfast you come from?
West,
West?
of course,
part in
West,
the West?
here, I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
Can I? Do you know what I mean?
So see with the mask and all, is that a thing for the public? Is it like
It's not a fashion statement. Well, it is a
is it
fashion
to hide?
statement
But is it to hide your face from walking about in towns and no one really recognizes, or it's just
for a couple of reasons. Like, back in the day, it was more like I was doing a lot of things I shouldn't be doing, lads. I'd be
Mm.
just get it all out on the table here. Like, do you know what I mean? Not gonna say what,
mm,
but do you know what I mean? And then I was then rapping about them things because I didn't know any better. Like, and
mm.
didn't want to be touting on myself. Like, do you know, do you know what I mean? Like, so then
Get home with your man's beating the fucker. Dude. What
and
the
then-
fuck do you do?
And then do you know what it is as well? It's like you don't want to be like, do you know what I mean? I'm sitting rapping about drugs, I'm rapping about partying, I'm rapping about like all sorts of mad shit, do you know what I mean? And I don't want my mate's granny or something being like, yo, I
Yeah.
heard what you were saying, hey boy, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I
You
thought you were a
wee
nice
Durt
wee
Burd.
kid.
He's a wee Durt Burd.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so and I suppose as well, but now it's more just like it's the brand and it's also the
Yeah.
protect my anonymity. Like, do you know what I mean? It's I think a lot of music these days it's very appearance based. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
very about like, do you know what I mean? If you look at
I think boxing the same. Like, see, when I was only starting boxing, I was like, how the fuck can I get myself out there more? So for some weird reason, I just started growing a mustache, and I created the mustache movement. Everyone started talking about it. I got everyone talking about me because I just had a mustache.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that can't get people talking about you.
did you start the mullets over here as well? Did
I
you?
don't know, but I'm rocking one now. I'm going to take it off. Everyone's coming up to me again saying I look like
Michael Stone.
Michael Stone again.
Jesus Christ, that's a problem.
It kills me.
That's a proper
So
problem.
I used to, I got it for fucking easy when I had them all, but when I was fighting News Craig, I had them all. We're going Michael Stone. I was like, fuck that. So I shaved it off, but I miss it. I love it.
I think
I'm growing it back and now again. Last week, all I got was Michael Stone for fuck's sake.
I think you should go for the Earl Mohawk or something like.
I
you
don't
know.
know.
What I mean?
Listen,
Earl
I've
Mr. T Mohawk.
I've
like,
had
you
too
know
much
what I mean?
experience in my hair. My hairs are receding like fuck. I don't have much time left.
Get you over to Turkey, the fuck, man. Do you know what I mean?
But how did you start rapping? Cause see, to be honest, how old are you?
24.
24. Like rapping wasn't a big thing when you were young. It's
Nah,
only the last 3-4 years has rap really blown up in Belfast.
I suppose for me, right? Well, like, I remember hearing Tommy actually saying you were really into West Coast hip hop, weren't you? So from that, I'm gathering maybe Tupac, Corrupt, Nipsey Hussle. Is that?
Well, see, like Nipsey Hussle,
He's a bit later on, like obviously.
He obviously has made a massive impact on hip hop and on West Coast hip hop legend, but I never really listened to him that much. It was more I liked him more for his business
What he done in the
acumen
community.
and his social thoughts and views. But my favorite rapper growing up was Snoop Dogg forever.
100%.
But now it's my favorite rapper now is Larry June.
Never heard of him. I'll have to give him a
Well,
listen.
check him out. He's the
100%.
best.
He's
he's
loving
the
this guy,
god.
Larry June.
But the way you would have been, I would have listened to West Coast hip
But yeah,
hop.
like sorry to go to what you're saying, like so Tupac, Daz Corrupt, Dr. Dre, all
course.
that's what I love.
Ice
That's
Cube.
what I listened to growing up. Yeah, Ice Cube and WA.
See, I always loved the West Coast stuff because it kind of resonated with me because it was from West Belfast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
so you could just say West Side.
and do you know what I mean? And they were talking about similar things that I thought we were going through. Do you know what I mean? Doing things you shouldn't be doing, and also even say for example, my name's very Irish. A lot of the time I'd be getting stopped by the cops. And they'd be making fun of my name and stuff, so a lot of that resonated with me. But then it was
even Crip, the colours over there.
Yeah,
The
way
blue,
the
red,
way the
over
city's
here, now
all
green or
exactly.
blue.
There's
So
a lot of parallels, like, but it was actually when I heard East Coast rap that it really hit me. Like, see, like Big L, Big Pun,
Now we're talking.
proper dirty. Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? We'll pull up and shoot your man in the face. Like, do you know what I mean?
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
like, do you know what I mean? Like, but that's the way they were. Like, do you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
were real. It was real raw, uncut, and I felt like it really captured a similar essence that I would have seen in Belfast, do you know what I mean? Where it was a real don't give a fuck attitude. And then I started rapping in parks when I was maybe, like drinking and whatever, like doing whatever you do.
That's brave to do in
do
front
it.
of the group of
Nah, we go
peers.
off on our own, sit at a bench, me and like a couple of our boys that rap. Everyone else would be sitting there getting blocked, smoking fuckets and all. I mean, we'd be sitting on the bench and sitting there going, yo, that bar was sicker. And then like actually we're sitting on the Blackstaff one time and we found this business card. And it was like Jun Tzu's business card, right? This is years ago. It was before I knew Jun Tzu. It was before I wore a mask, before I was Durt Burd. I was just a wee kid running about. And it was me and my wee mate, our kid. Shout out our kid. We found the business card, so we phoned it up. And we were like, Mum, we'll rap the Jun Tzu here. Like, it's our big break here. Like, do you know what I mean? And then phoned him up and we were like, hello, is this Jun Tzu? And then it was my answered, and she was like, hello, Johnny's not here at the minute. He gave us number to me, so he did. So when later on he'd phoned us back, and he was like, hello, this is Jun Tzu here. What were you looking at me or something? We stuck a mob deep beat on. We just started going in, just rapping like fuck. And then he was like, I like the rap, lads. But how did you get my man's number? You know what I mean? But then after that, I've done a lot of other things. I ran a few businesses and stuff and went for a few years of just being a complete maniac, as we all probably do. Like, well, I know about you lads, but the way I grew up, everyone I know was a complete rocket at one point of their lives. Do you know what I mean? So
what school do you go to? Can you say that?
Well, like I'm a fluent Irish speaker. Like
Okay,
it kind of gives it
right,
away.
right,
You know
right,
what I mean? But yeah. So just done my thing. Do you know what I mean? But I kind of really found that this was my calling. Do you know what I mean? I just always had a love for it.
Did you go to the Gael Talk?
Yeah, I got fucked out of Gael Talk, to
Did
be
Did you?
honest.
What did you get fucked out
I
for?
was smoking grass.
Did you?
Oh, jeez.
What happened? What happened?
Nah, they
smoking
just caught me smoking
grass?
grass, like, do you know what I mean?
Did
Sent me
you
home, like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't any I wish it was a mad story, and I tell you, I feel like making something up now, like, to be honest, do you know what I mean? Fucking, but yeah.
But see, so, because I remember my oldest sweet girl went to Gael Talk, and then when she came back, she just kept singing the Kneecap song, C-R-E-R-T. Isn't that what it is? C-R-E-R-T-R. And she said the whole time they just kept playing Kneecap because it was in Irish. And I think there's a generation of like Gael Talk attendees who kind of grew up, or those like formative years, or your teenage years, you're listening to Kneecap, so now they've grew up with them, and it's not weird to hear Belfast rap. Did you get on the Kneecap at the Gael Talk, or
no, mate. When I was at the Gael Talk, Kneecap weren't about. It was Jason Mraz and Irish. I was singing it, trying to get all the birds going. Just my love, I should. No, I mean, like, fuck's sake. But I think Kneecap, I've done a lot of really good things for not only the Irish language, but obviously people getting used to rap in the north of Ireland. I got a lot of comparisons, obviously, because I rap in Irish and I wear a mask. But I'm telling you, lads, they're the only two similarities. The more people hear me, the more they'll know the difference. Do you know what I mean? And that's not me
Do
knocking them.
you take inspiration from him, or
do you hate
is it just like?
Nah, I don't really like the
ours?
comparisons. I'll be 100%. I don't really like the comparisons, but it's more so. But it's not anything that I would be annoyed about because people haven't heard me enough to know the difference. Do you know what I mean? But I think I respect them. I think fair play to them for what they've done. Do you know what I mean? But I'm a lot more hip hop. Do you know what I mean? Fair play to them. Like, do you know what I mean? They've done really, really like groundbreaking stuff, and they've probably broke down the doors for a lot of artists like myself. Do you know what I mean?
Especially the ones that you spitting in as Gaeliga and
Shanae. But I think for me, I take a lot more influence from hip hop culture. Do you know what I mean?
Who would influence you?
Oh, that's a really good question. Now, you won't know who. Well, you might not know who he is. I doubt it. Like, but if you do, for folks days, this fella Cass is dead. He's from, I think, North London or something. But he wears a mask as well. No one's ever seen his cunt's face, right? And just makes all these real raw, gritty tunes about growing up in London, and it's not a real pretty picture he paints, which is where I find the similarities. Obviously, I have some like wee nice like help your granny cross the street tunes, but like a lot of my tunes sound like getting your door booted up a hole. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because that's as much as I love Belfast. There's a lot of amazing things about it. There's a lot of things that, you know, are happening to people because they're victims of deprivation and that they shouldn't have seen. They're like adverse experiences that they shouldn't be having to see. They're shouldn't be having to go through. So I like to capture that essence and tell the story that's kind of untold about over here. You know, like not about the troubles, not about the war, about what happened after, and about the way the place was left after. Do you know what I mean? There was power vacuums that needed to be filled. There was drugs everywhere, and people hear me talking about drugs and think I'm promoting them. It's actually a cautionary tale.
When K-Hole was on here, and I said this to him, I think I said to Cabby too, that it seems that most of the Belfast rappers, the content is all like drugs. Everyone's talking about drugs. And do you think that is I can't remember who I said it to. Is that the reality of young people in Belfast now? There's just a mad drug culture?
That's what I was about to say. So if you're in your West Coast, Tommy, so if you look at what Ice Cube said, people were asking him why he's rapping about gangs and AKs and all, and he said your art is a reflection of your reality. And realistically, back in the day, the Raw didn't used to let drugs in here. That's why everyone was sniffing glue. Do you know what I mean? See now, the place is fucking flooded. I'm sure you see it. You walk down the street, you see baggies fucking lying everywhere.
Yep.
When I rap about drugs, I'm not talking about just the good times or just the bad times. I'm trying to give a realistic perspective of what it's like, which there is highs and there is serious lows. So it's as much as I'm talking about my own experiences, it's also a cautionary tale of like, don't make the same fucking mistakes that I did.
Because even in that the Vice documentary, the comment that made it I didn't even realize how bad the problem was. Well, like, I did it kind of, but it just because I'm not a young person anymore, so I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
But like you said, you see the baggies in the street, you see like friggin' needles and all sometimes. But when I watched that documentary, it was like young people are just getting whacked till it chops flat out.
Yo, Tommy, I tell you what, I've heard you mention that a couple of times now. See when I heard you say it, I was going, fuck, that must be his favorite film. He must watch that every night before bed, folks.
Well, you know,
I'm only slaying.
You're a Belfast rapper, and the Belfast rappers who come on, it was about.
What is it about? Because
it's about Belfast rappers, and but they're all addicted to drugs.
So I'll go from the start. I'll tell a story from the start. So right, basically, we seen Vice was doing this here documentary. Vice fucking massive platform. We were
And also, I watched loads of his documentaries. That's
no,
I
no,
come
I know.
across it.
No, I know.
I'm only slagging on here. Like, I don't actually think it's your favorite film.
It's
like.
his favourite. It's his favourite.
That's my favorite.
He's a poster up on his wall.
Nah, so we seen there's just this massive platform, and they're doing this documentary about tablets, right? And like a couple of us have struggled with tablets before, right? But we weren't. We were like, right, how can we take this and flip it around? Do you know what I mean? To promote our music, which we end up getting loads of our music in it, and, you know, getting some fairly decent royalties out of it. Do you know what I mean? But I suppose, you know, it wasn't the most well thought out decision as well, because we actually went on to kind of be like, look, we used to take these here, like, you know, they're bad. Do you know what I mean? But here, listen to our music. Do you know what I mean? But it kind of, it spiraled a bit out of control, like, do you know what I mean? There's millions of comments, people on Reddit and all, like.
What were they saying?
Well, my
We're all
mate,
drug addicts.
my mate passed away, who I was in it with, Rich Mix,
R.I.P.,
God rest
yep.
his soul. He passed away the next day after it. And like there was people online saying that I should have overdosed with him. And you know, some real despicable stuff. And it was just fucking, it was a lot to handle at the time, but you know what it is? It's like, what is hip hop without controversy? You go back to the
How do
origin.
you deal with negative comments and stuff?
I thrive on it.
Do you love it?
You see, if you go on to my comments, no, see, so many people be slapping in my comments. I just reply, I just go for a dig. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? You're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, otherwise you're a monk.
And when
do you
you're
know what I
putting
mean?
yourself out there, you have to have thick skin to be able to deal with it. Because even if people do like you, they're gonna slag you anyway.
There's still people going to hate you always.
See as well as that, I can take a slagging. Like, your man Connor G slagged me loads of times, and I love it. I love it.
What's he saying? I see, to be honest, I'm a fan of Connor G. I've said many
I
times.
like the Connor G.
So my lads, he's a fucking gig. Do you know? You know, but some people don't like at slagging, which is fair enough. I can understand. But see me, I love all of it. Do you know what I mean? The other day he says, obviously he watched my music video, She Wanna Dance, and he was it's a very good video, Durt Burd, but I don't like the masks and I don't like the drugs or something like that. And he said some more stuff. He slags me for wearing a mask and for just all the usual type of bollocks, like, do you know what I mean? But I used to be like in the comments and all of his show, like slobbering to him live in the comments for the crack, like.
But see someone like Connor G, I know a lot of the rappers are raising at him, but they don't realize he's actually promoting them. Because people watch it, like me and Tyrone, for the laughs, and then it puts you on the guys who he's talking about, and then it's free publicity, really.
I think as well as that, it's like, see, until we have, like, see, for us to have a scene, it needs to be, it can't just be, oh, we're all mates, everybody's class. Like, people are going to think you're good, people are going to think you're shit. See, until people can say, right, I think he's shit, I think he's good, and somebody can argue with them going, no, actually, he's good and he's shit, then we'll not have a scene. Do you know what I mean? For us to have a scene, there needs to be, you know, different room for different opinions, room for different tastes.
See, all your mates, obviously you grew up all your life, I'm sure. Did they always know you were going to be a rapper, or did you come the one day go, here, I'm going to start a rap career? Because in a Belfast thing, it's a weird thing to say that someone here going to start a maybe not now, but back in the day it was.
I was always in and out of parties, just, you know what I mean, fucking rapping, like, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't that everyone thought I was going to be a rapper. I'm sure some people at some of my points probably thought I was going to be dead or in jail. But like, thankfully I sorted myself out, and that didn't happen. But I think everyone always knew I had a talent for it. There was always people who would have. There was always doubters, naysayers. Do you know what I mean? Non-believers, like, do you know what I mean? You burn them at the stake now when he slag them, but like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. I suppose.
When did you start taking like properly serious? Where you go, right? This is what I want to do. This is the career.
Maybe like 3 years ago. Played the fella, and then opened up for like Pete and Baz, if you've ever heard of them. Opened up for Dublin and stuff. Started getting booked for, like, you know, load of Irish festivals and just doing my thing. But that was before I'd even dropped any music at all. Like, so
how did you get on all them shows where you even drop music?
I'm just see my CS phone, see the contacts in that phone. That's like a GTA phone book or so it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, see, you want a fucking helicopter drop down here? I make a phone call now. You know what I mean?
Did you ever do anything with HBE?
Yeah, no, OJ well. Me and Rich Mix done a project together on HB, produced by my fucking superstar producer, Atomic Adam, who's also done loads of other bits since then, Driving Reckless, some tunes for Cavi, and then he's working on my debut mixtape here, which is out next month. But I done a
What
mix
date next month? Do you know?
20th of June, so
Whenever June,
you know what I
get
mean.
on
See,
it.
see if you don't stream it, I'm coming to all your
And
doors.
is it going to be available on all streaming sites?
Everything that works. We've got Jun Tzu, we've got Ink, we've got Leo Miyagi, we've got
Do you got Ink? That's
Ink.
a big
It's
one.
Ink. Oh, I
Well,
100%.
obviously John Zoo too, and I
And then
wish I him,
Crutch,
but
this
at least
other
Ink's coming up from Dublin.
Crutch, this other big boy, big heavy hitter from Dublin. Like, so I'm trying to do something that I feel like's never been done before. There's 16 tracks on it, about 10 different genres. There's Irish language tunes in it. There's gangster tunes in it. There's wee love songs in it. Do you know what I mean? There's
Whatever.
genuinely.
Surely you're an Irish speaking rapper. Kneecap are the same. There's a collab to be had there.
Well, we'll see what the crack is like. Do you know what I mean? We'll
Who's
see what the crack
your
is.
top three right now of because see Irish rap at the minute, I think it's really flourishing at the minute. It's thriving.
My top three Irish rappers.
No.
Like, if we're going the whole look, I'll not give you the
But
top three.
do Belfast then.
Belfast lads now. Yo, why you're gonna get my fucking
Yeah, we are.
concentrate why you're not matching me.
Who's
See,
not
honestly,
not top, but who's your favorite? You like? listening to?
at the minute, who I've been listening to is I've been really listening to Sallow a lot.
Yeah.
Sallow's a sicko.
But he's Belfast. But
Oh,
Sallow's
Bel-
brilliant.
oh,
He's-
Belfast. See, honestly, lads, I'm in a collective of about. See, see out there.
Yeah.
I'm in a collective of about 10 hour boys.
So you have to mention them
So
all.
I'll just, you know, what, I'll
Just
just,
mention him. I give him a wee bit
I
of
love
shame.
M66, R3C, R-Kid, Margin, SYG,
M66 is good.
Wayne Earns, and Jesus fuck, you put me on the spot here. Lads.
Yeah, it's gonna forget everyone for a
I
reason.
love Leo, John Tzu. I love
Just all. of them.
I love all of them from Belfast, lads. I don't want to get my fucking head.
Is there see the way like in obviously American rap there's a lot of beef and all and people do this later. Is there much of that?
Lads, I've had a few beefs, but I can't
Have
even
you?
tell you about
Why
them.
not?
But because they're with people who I actually know in Belfast, and it's since been sorted out. But lads,
Right,
see,
without mentioning names, tell us what happened.
there was just things to do with, and it's since been sorted. There was things to do with people on our people money and things like that, and you know things got a bit heated. But and there's been times when people have got fucking and the physical altercations and stuff as well.
I wouldn't have
know,
thought that would happen in Belfast
Belfast
rap
scene?
scene.
Now, see me, lads. I'm a chill guy. Like I'm not. I see a few years ago when my head was proper cooked, partying too much. Like I was sitting there, like I had a bit of fucking just a mad mind state where I was only out of like a fucking 7-year relationship, engaged and all, but. See, after that, just went flat out partying. It was like I was out for blood for a wee while. That's like, do you know what I mean? There was a wee while, like I was just on smoke. But then, like since then, I've
Calmed down,
just
chilled
calmed
out now.
down. I've just kind of found my peace. Do you know what I mean? So not really on the beef. I'm just kind of on the making music. And but there's definitely people who have had beefs, like do you know what I mean? Like proper beefs over here. And like fucking, it's all since been sorted. To my knowledge, like there's some big.
To my knowledge.
There's been some big names and all I've had beef with, lads, but like
Serious?
I literally like I
Can't
can't
say.
even say on camera, like
Say it off camera.
because I know I'll tell you after, like.
It's just-
But lads, it would sink me if I told you like what actually happened, like. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't say there's loads and loads of beefs, but definitely me being a bit mad. Like I've had a couple, like I've had a couple run-ins with people. I think it's because I came into a game very loud, like,
Yeah.
yo, this is who the fuck I am, what the fuck he's gonna do about it, do you know what I mean? And then
Do you because say like Cavi Forex, you know Cavi Forex thing?
yeah, man,
Like
a few
he came
times.
in very loud as well. Does that annoy other rappers when someone comes in like that?
Doesn't annoy me, mate. There's the way I see it is like, look, there's two paths. Do you know what I mean? There's the path where you can kind of, and this isn't me knocking anyone that does either of these. They're just different. Do you know what I mean? There's some people who kind of have gimmicks and they'll be more like influencers, and then there's my path, which is the path of the artist. It's kind of like some deep fucking samurai shit or something. Do you know what I mean? Like
MF Doom shit.
I really need to like carve my own lane out. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
It's a lot harder. It's a lot more work for me because I'm not one of them influencers. I'm an artist first completely.
Mm.
Like I over 1,000 tunes in the vault. Do you know what I mean? I've grafted at this for 10 years before I even released any music. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I would say I'm on the more difficult path, but
More
that's not
rewarding.
me knocking the other path. Do you know what I mean? But I think some other Belfast rappers were a bit raising it, Kevy, but I don't have the
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
to.
focus on yourself.
Oh, that's what I
really.
was gonna say. I don't have a time to focus on anyone else but myself.
Did you get nervous going out up the stage?
Nah,
Nah.
I don't like. Do you know
So
what I mean?
no, but
enough.
no one knows who it is.
Like it's not even that. This is what I was meant to do. Do you know what I mean? This is my
Yeah,
as
you're living the
cliche
dream.
as sounds. This is my destiny. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm going out there. Every time I'm going out there, you need to convince people that they like you. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? I'm sure you know what as being comedians, being performers. You know, you need to convince people that like you. So I'm going out there trying to convince every single fucking person in that crowd. I don't show any fear. I don't show any fucking
Yeah.
mercy when I get up there.
Mm.
Do you play any instruments?
I play a couple of instruments. I can play the drums. Do you still have the
Mm.
kitten here?
That was in the
I was
other
in the
studio.
last-
Oh, yo, here
yeah.
I'm an animal on the drums.
Are you?
Yeah, I can play the drums. I can play the tin whistle. I'm a pretty decent DJ. I can sing a wee bit.
So you're a real music man.
Oh, wow. No, I grew up around a lot of
Did
music.
you play in a band or anything before you went solo?
Yeah. Well, like, I'm serious. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
messing with
mess.
me.
decked up out a wee bit. Like, do you know
Where
what I
did you
mean?
learn all this? Just in school?
My two big brothers were really mad, so my ma put me in every extracurricular type thing she could. So
Calm me down.
you know
So
what I
you
mean?
can't get in trouble.
But then, like, oh, it didn't
You
work.
can't trouble
Sorry, man.
hanging.
But
So are you from a musical family? Do your brothers rap or do any music?
funny
or?
enough, one of my brothers, this was before Belfast rap was, ever a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, my big brothers were both big hip hop heads, but one of my brothers, he was graffiti writer, done the trains and all.
Really?
I was loud fucking sicko as well. Goes to Berlin, fucking all over the show. Shout out WDC crew. Do you know what I mean? What that crack on the map.
Hmm.
But what do you call it? He would have wrote me raps back in the day. Back when he used to be he was a wee bastard back in the day. Like, but I love him the bits. You know what I mean? Big brother. Like, but I was painting his raps, and I was like, yo, they're sick. Why do you not actually rap them? He's like, nah, fuck that. He's running about with a load of wee hoods, and he just didn't, he's too scared to do it, or just didn't want to do it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll
Let's
start
take
rapping. Do you know what I
in.
mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is my time to shine. Like, do you know what I mean? He done like attention on him as much. I'm a born performer. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I walk up.
What's the goal after your album's released next month? What is the goals?
Well, mate, honestly, I'm just focused on playing all my shows. And I'm in Dublin, then Birmingham, and then doing like four maybe 5 Irish festivals. And then just a few smaller ones in between. Do you know what I mean? So it's just go. But probably eventually start working on another project. Do you know what I mean? Well, not eventually. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll start working on another project. I want to do something fresh, create my own sound. I'm trying to create my own genre with my producer. Atomic Atom at the minute. It's a mix between Brazilian funk with Irish language lyrics. It's called Celtic Funk. So watch out, 'cause that's
Good,
gonna
looking
fucking
forward to
take
it.
over. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Good stuff.
Here, have you got a manager or an agent, or are you doing all this by yourself?
I was doing it by myself for a while. I've actually set up. So it's here, cert. And shout out Roddy's Gold and Silver for all the jewels.
Yeah, good
Great,
stuff.
And
give us some as
shout,
well, Roddy.
shout out Apache for all the clothes.
Yeah,
But
XL,
we've
Apache.
we've started a wee management artist development company.
Oh.
We were doing a record label for a while, but we're actually looking more into fuck, all my chains are tangled up here, lads. But what do you call it? We're starting a wee management artist development company. We're helping artists from Belfast who we think have potential get in, you'll get your chain, obviously. Do you know what I mean? We're gonna get you in the room with labels. We're gonna help you do social media campaigns and just get you in the right places you need to be. Help you get shows, stuff like that.
Do you think social media is a massive thing in rap now?
Oh, mate, it puts my head away. Like, see, like, you wake up and you're like, fuck, I need to make content today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, mate, see,
It's just a content world now. You have to have content.
if you don't make content, you're not eating. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. Do you know what I mean? And it's a dog eat dog world out here. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say you have to have, like, you have to be good socially, like on social media, and to make it, or can you be off social media and still make it?
Well, I think if you get really lucky, you can be all social media and make it, but the odds aren't great as it is. So it's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? If you actually want it, go and grind for it. You know what I mean? The talent's not enough anymore. Back in the day, you could have went and performed at the Fever or something in New York.
Yeah.
And then you would have got a record deal like that, and then they would have done everything. But it's not like that anymore. See, now you need to grind like.
And are you only are you full time in rapping, or are you working as well, or what?
I'm an entrepreneur as well.
Are you?
Yeah, but
Yes.
obviously I'm not gonna give that away. Like, do you know what I mean? So.
In the distribution industry.
Yo, I'm a chemist now. I'm only second. Not anymore. Like, not anymore. I'm a good boy now. Like, I'm legit business now. Like, do you know what I mean?
So, see, to get the feel and stuff, we're gonna do the feel this year.
Not to my knowledge, like, unless if they're looking for somebody here, give me a shout, lads. You know what I mean? Kev here. Remember, I mean, you got on well. Know what I mean? So,
is the rap being on coming on the feel this year? Or is there a rap thing? No,
I don't have a
I don't
clue,
know
to be
if it
honest,
is.
lads.
There was one that
last
must
year?
have been the one that you done. The hip hop one that Jun Tzu was on.
Yeah,
and
me, Jun Tzu,
Kneecap.
Kneecap, and then there was a few bands and stuff on. Do you know what I mean?
So we're not doing that this year, no?
I know I'm doing a few other Irish festivals. Yo, same Irish festivals, lads. They are absolutely boogaloo. Like, I'm only back from Liverpool. I was performing in Liverpool, and then I'm in Birmingham here at the end of June, just after my mixtape launches on the 20th of June. Then I'm in Birmingham, and then after that, once we get into July, I'm in Dublin. I'm also making a guest appearance at another festival. But Irish festivals, lads, different gravy. I'm telling you, it's like,
what do you call that place down in Kilkenny? Has a big music festival.
Body and Soul, is it? Or I don't know.
Friggin'
the other boys.
I can't remember. Slap my mind. It'll come back now.
But there's loads of them, and they're real. I wouldn't even say they're slapped on, because there'll be tens and thousands of people at them. Like, do you know what I mean? But I think more people need to find out about them, because like everyone's so focused on, we'll go to Longitude, or
what's the best Irish festival for people to check out?
If you know, you know. It's an invite only festival. So
if you know, you know.
How do you get invited?
What?
How do you get invited?
I'd invite you to if you want. Like,
where is it?
It's in Ballurgan Park, Dundalk. Best festival I've been to. Yo, absolutely amazing. I'm not say I know the organisers, but I'm well in with the organisers. So that's if you want to come down.
Hopefully it's a nice day. If it's raining,
kind of going.
The sun's it.
Fuck's sake, used to have a few quid. Get a camper van, drive down there.
I would love to be camper van driver here.
Lads, I'm telling you, but.
Tyrone wants to do the camper van. It's all good crack, but I have to drive it. I want to drink too.
I can't drive.
So if we get someone else to drive, you can drive
it. Honestly, lads, they're amazing. See, we went this wasn't if you know, but we went to this festival last year, right? And lads, I don't want to get too not PG here or whatever.
Get no put.
That's sweet. Yo, right, so my mate took 10 E's, right? Like, took 10 E's and a load of mushrooms and all that mad shit, right? Yo, right? I'm like, lads, can I stand up for 2 seconds to show you, right? I went up the check on this cunt, right? And he was fucking winged out of his nut. He's doing all this karate. It was like, going like that. Then I go to making about 1 million different faces, right? I goes up, I go, yo, I'm not going to say his name. I'll just call him Big Lad. That's what everyone calls him. I go, Big Lad, are you alright? And he goes, he didn't like say anything. He just went, ah. At me. I was like, fuck me. But you could have fried an egg on this cunt's head. I had about 3 jackets on, steam coming off him and shit, right? I'm like, right, we need to get this cunt fucking paramedic tent here. I was trying to give him water. He wasn't accepting it because apparently he only drinks juice. I didn't know that, right? But I brought him to a paramedic tent, whatever, right? And fucking wiped out his fucking tree, right? And then he got put into this tent called the sidecar tent, which is basically, that's like when you're freaking out on drugs, like they put you in that to calm you down. So he was in the paramedic, then in there. He got up the next day, we all seen him. He thunders up. We all go, yeah, no, because he was buckled the night before. He was, what is all about? What is all about? I was sweet while he's getting on like that. He was like, we were like, do you not remember what happened last night? He was like, He goes, I remember that nice fireman helped me. He goes, I was a paramedic, you dick.
Did he not get it on camera now?
Mate, honestly, it would have been cruel, like, do you know what I mean? Like, lad, like, do you know what I mean? Mate, this fella's mad, but he's a gentleman. Like, I have a lot of time for him, but he has a real scary voice. He has he talks like that a wee bit. He has a real scary voice. So people used to get him to make phone calls for him. Do you know what I mean? Like he'd be going, oh, you may get my money out and whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? This is such and such because of his voice. And he got asked to do a tiger kidnapping. Right?
Fuck me.
Right? He didn't know what it was.
People you
He
run
didn't.
up with,
He didn't know what it was. Right? He went back and told his family and all. He goes, "Oh, I got asked to do this tiger kidnapping here," and they're like, "What the fuck? What do you mean you got asked to do a tiger kidnapping? Well, you're not fucking doing that." And he goes, "Wow, it's just going and grabbing the wee baby tiger." And he was like,
Fuck's sake.
but he was sitting there. Well, I was wondering how you would have got it into a van and all. You would have had to have a
Jesus
tranquilizer gun or something. Like, I mean, oh shit.
Whatever.
But-
So like back to you, Henry, with so you're doing the festivals and you've got this project coming. Do you do many features on other artist stuff?
Yeah, well, I've done a feature for Jun Tzu. I've done a few of them. Like I got asked to do a good few, but I'm kind of more just trying to focus on my own thing. Like I've got obviously a few features on this tape, but there's a lot of solo. There's 16 tunes on it. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's.
But how are you getting? I know you said contacts on your phone, but you're flat out with festivals here, and you haven't even released anything. So
Oh, I have. I've released 3 tunes. Like.
but you haven't released an album.
Oh no,
No,
I don't
like,
understand.
well,
Nah,
that's
nah,
really
well,
just released album.
that's I'm just that good. Like, why
That's
you doubt me for?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I'm just asking. You're
What's it
flat
like?
out in the
What-
fucking
what's-
all over UK, going to all these festivals.
What's a
like,
kid like? Do you know what I mean? Like, nah, it's a real recognized real, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Like I do my thing. Do you know what I mean? And it's, as I say, I'm on the path of the artist. Everything I do is real, authentic, raw. Do you know what I mean? So it's when you do that for long enough, people just start to realize, like, do you know what I mean? And also, it is just how I'm the type of person I see. I walk down the road. Well, what's happening? Well, what, you know, like we man about town, like, do you know what I mean? So I just got in the right circles, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So see, you said about finding John Tzu's business card. Were you a fan of his growing up?
Well, like at that point, all I'd really heard of him was Born in Belfast and
Yeah.
Wee Johnny and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But I
So
thought he
like,
was
how
sick.
does it feel then to like fast forward a few years and now? Would you say he's your mate?
I tell everyone he's my uncle.
Yeah.
Sort of fuck. I tell everyone he's my uncle. Like,
So
not
how does
actually,
it feel like being
but-
like it's almost like you manifested?
Yeah.
Of course, mate. But it's a manifested and I worked for it. Do you know what I mean? It's as I say, like it feels good just to be mates with to have people like that as my peers and my friends. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel obviously Johnny's a true artist. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I would consider myself. Do you know what I mean? Proper wordsmith, proper poet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good to be. I suppose it's a recognition of my talent and of where I have came to, but at the same time, it's hard to sit and take a look at it and sit back and look at it when you're living it. Do you know what I mean? Because
Is there any time where you went, fuck this, I don't want to give up and rap, I want to retire and rap? No.
there was times now I was sitting in my room, like head proper wanted to do myself, like, do you know what I mean? Like just fucking.
Why?
Well, went through years fucking just waste my life abusing drugs. Do you know what I mean? Which see now I just smoke.
How did you overcome was it the music? Have you overcome suicidal thoughts?
Part of it, definitely. I also just had good people around me, and I just waised up. Do you know what I mean? It's not just waised up. I'm not saying you can just waist up from that. Do you know what I mean? But just doing good things for myself. I suppose, like I've lost a lot of friends as well. Like, see in the past year and a half, I've lost 2 of my best mates. Do you know what I mean? One of them the drunk driving, one of them the drug overdose, and one of them was wee Ma Mac. You know what? I grew up with wee Ma. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, did you? Huh?
So
R.I.P.
it was
Yes, R.I.P.
but like, see, like at grief, it leaves a big hole in your heart and your soul, and the only thing you could fill that hole with is more life. Do you know what I mean? So that's, I suppose, we go back to that, is I just started really just living my life. Do you know what I mean? Because I appreciated it.
Do you use your music to try and get some positive mental health solutions, or what am I trying to say? You know, obviously you're lived through it, you've been there. You could use it to try and help lift up other people. Do you ever put that kind of subject matter in your music?
I do and I don't. As I say, like I just try and talk about the full journey. Like I'm not looking to, like, if you look at
I
what
don't know, but you don't want to be like a friggin' preacher and all, but it is so like prevalent, especially like with like 15 to 25-year-olds. There's a lot of suicide, a lot of people struggling with mental health, and people always are trying to combat it. I was like played a charity football with my sister, and that was in need of mental health. And I think like someone like you who has a voice and you're like a big voice for the young people, you could use it as an opportunity to get something out of it.
Of course, I think like for me, I try and give a good perspective of like a good balanced, non-biased perspective as to what way I grew up. You know, in terms of like there's songs you'll hear me talking about high fucking shit. Some of the shit I went through has been through taking drugs, through doing things I shouldn't be doing, running about like a rocket. And then there's songs when I talk about the good, so I talk very much so about the highs and lows. 'Cause I'm not an advocate to turn around and saying that nobody ever take drugs. If you're gonna take, I don't take you know, like heavy drugs anymore, or smoke weed, like, do you know what I mean? Now, but if you're gonna take you know, any stronger drugs, just take a wee half of the, make sure you only take a half one. Drink plenty of water, like, do you know what I mean? Like I'm
doing this on whiskey on me.
I'm not saying not to take drugs. I've had good times on drugs, but I've had really bad times due to abusing drugs. I think that drugs should be decriminalized. I think that should be made safe. There should be more awareness made.
I forget where it is, but somewhere
Portugal.
Portugal
Yeah.
decriminalized drugs, and they found out that the people are taking less drugs than they ever have, and there's less crime than ever has.
Well, there's no
So-
information available in terms of taking drugs. That's why you get fellas like my mate at that fucking festival taking fucking tennies. Do you know what I mean? Like people shouldn't be fucking doing
But
that.
if they are legalized, then they're going to be
can
controlled
regulate it,
better.
That's what
And you're going to get the real stuff instead of
That's-
fucking rat poison or something.
That's what I mean. And like, you know, I would still be an advocate for like stuff like magic mushrooms. I'm not saying I'll sit and eat loads of them, but like I've had times where they've actually got me out of not necessarily got me out of a bad place. Do you know what I mean? But they've given me a bit of clarity as to what was going on in my life, and in terms of like, but at the same time, I would very much be an advocate for if you. I'm not saying to take drugs, but if you are, don't be fucking stupid taking them. Do you know what I mean? Read about what you're taking. Try and realize that you don't know what's in what you're taking. Be fucking careful and don't abuse it. Because if you don't respect them, they won't respect you.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you know what? That there should be a friggin' public service announcement.
Get me up on the billboards, 2 thumbs up, and all, action posters and all. I mean, but
So what's your ultimate goal? Do you want to have like a gold or platinum sound album, or do you just want to have one big performance in the Odyssey, or what is the
goals? World tour, linking up with. Look, I don't want to be considered a Belfast rapper or an Irish rapper. I'm just a rapper. I want to be up there on the level with them American boys, on the level with them UK boys, doing my thing, and not recognized because of where I'm from, recognized because of what I bring to the table.
Yeah. And who do you sorry, son? Who do you like look at? What level do you, like? Who's the biggest rapper right now in your eyes?
That's a tough question. Do you know what I mean? You have people like obviously like Kendrick and Drake. Look at what they just done. Do you know what I mean? But I'd be more wanting to be where Skepta's at.
I think UK rap is overtaking US rap anyway.
Central C's like one of the friggin' biggest.
There's
the biggest guys now.
Yeah, it's mad. Like I think UK rap resonates with a lot of people here as well because it's closer to home. Do you know what I mean? Like it's more of a similar lifestyle. Like
a lot of people most people's been to England or have family in England, so it's like it's not as like far fetched like America's like North City world.
100%. 100%. I think but I still think American rap will always be prevalent. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like,
who's the person you'd most want to collab with? If you had a choice out of anyone.
Out of anyone. Well, to be honest, like it would probably be. I wouldn't do it from a musical perspective. Like musical perspective, it would be Cass is Dead because I really like his music.
Yeah, that's.
But in terms of like, if I was trying to be strategic, I'd just go for like Central C or Drake or something. You know what I mean? Get you the most views. That's just, you know what I mean?
Like all you need. I'm making it sound so easy, but if you get one good catchy song, then everyone gets on it, and then that opens the door for all the rest of the music. Cause like Jordan out of Jun Tzu, he was on the show a couple of years ago, and he's been plugging away for years, and then everyone who knows music knew how good he was, but then he got that Kalani song, and then now it's just hit after hit, just rolling in.
It's what it takes. It's consistency. Do you know what I mean? Consistency is key. So look, people get discouraged by likes. People get discouraged by social media. People get discouraged by thinking they're not getting enough opportunities. See, if you're not getting all that shit, you're either not being consistent enough, or you're not trusting the process enough, or you're shit. Do you know what I mean? So like, either go back and keep writing bars, go back and look at your marketing strategies and figure out what you're doing. Like, I'm always trying different things to try and market myself. Do you know what I mean? And even I've seen the rap game over here stepping their marketing up. Do you know what I mean? But kind of where I'm at is I'm just trial and error at the minute. So it's just, we'll see what works. There's 16 tracks in this mixtape. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see what one. And there's some big names on that mixtape as well.
We're looking forward to the mixtape coming out, but I think we've talked enough shit today.
Yes, lads.
So thanks for coming.
Yo, do you want to hear the rap?
No, well, that's going to come on the next. If you want to hear a rap, join.
We're going to be on Patreon.
We're going to be rapping it out. Tommy might even do a rap. Who knows? But thanks for joining us. You're a legend.
Yes, lads.
Check
over
out
and
his
out.
album. When is it? What date?
20th of June, boys.
20th of June. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell everyone about it. Sign up to Patreon and tune in next week. Legends.
We'll see him going all the way.